One has but to look around him on all sides and see the different needs of the different individuals composing the crowd in order to recognize the futility of any attempt to lay down lines of universal instruction on this subject. Each and every man who has succeeded has done so in a different way, generally along some original lines of action. In fact, the faculty or characteristic known as individuality seems to have played an important part in the success of the majority of persons who have attained it. And individuality renders those possessing it to a marked degree to be likely to depart from any set of rules or laid out courses of action. And so, it may be stated as a general principle that each must work out his own success along the lines of his own individuality, rather than by following any set rule or line of conduct. In view of what we have just said, it may seem strange that, feeling as we do, we have ventured to write a little book entitled The Secret of Success, particularly as we have started the said book by declaring the impossibility of laying down any set rules on the subject. This may seem like a paradox, but a little examination will show you that it is not so. It is true that we believe that each and every person must work out his own success along the lines of his own individuality, instead of along some cut-and-dried plan. And right here is where the secret of success comes in. Along the lines of his own individuality, we have just said, then it must follow that one must possess individuality before he may work along its lines. And in the measure that he possesses individuality, so will he possess the first prerequisite to success. And that is what we mean by the secret of success: individuality. Every person possesses dormant and latent individuality, but only a few allow it to express itself. The majority of us are like human sheep, trotting along complacently after some self-assertive bellwether whose tinkling bell serves to guide our footsteps. We have absorbed the notion somehow that these bellwethers possess the sum and substance of human knowledge and power, and ability to think, and instead of unfolding our own dormant powers and latent possibilities, we allow them to remain in obscurity, and we trot along joggity-joggity-jog after our pet bellwether. People are very much like sheep in this way. They are obedient and imitative animals, and rather than assume the responsibility of directing their own footsteps, they wait until someone takes the lead, and then away they stampede after him. Is it any wonder that the leaders claim the choicest pickings for themselves and allow the flock to get only the scrubby grass? Not a bit of it. They have earned the choice bits by reason of lack of individuality and initiative on the part of those following them. In fact, they were chosen as leaders because of this self-assertive and self-directive quality. If they had stood back in a modest, mild manner, they would have been pushed aside by the flock that would disclaim them as leaders, in favor of others who knew how to push to the front. Now, in this little book, we shall not endeavor to awaken a spirit of bellwetherism in you, nor to urge you to strive to lead the flock. There is nothing in the mere leading of people other than vainglory and petty self-satisfaction. The desirable thing is to possess sufficient individuality and initiative to be your own bellwether, to be a law unto yourself, so far as other men are concerned. The great men, the strong men, care nothing for the flock which so obediently trots along after them. They derive no satisfaction from this thing, which pleases only inferior minds and gratifies only petty natures and ambitions. The big men, the great spirits of all ages, have derived more satisfaction from that inward conviction of strength and ability which they felt unfolding into activity within themselves than in the plaudits of the mob, or in the servility of those imitative creatures who sought to follow in their footsteps. And this thing called individuality is a real thing, inherent in each of us, and which may be developed and brought into activity in each one of us if we go about it right. Individuality is the expression of our self. That self which is what we mean when we say I. Each of us is an individual, an I, differing from every other I in the universe, so far as personal expression is concerned. And in the measure that we express and unfold the powers of that I, so are we great, strong, and successful.